1v1 on Dok Karaz. This is the dwarven army of Treehugger. Let's get in and have a look at what he's got. The Lord is Ungrim Ironfist over here. This is the guy that doesn't run away. He's unbreakable. 70 melee attack and 35 melee defense. A bit strange for a dwarf to have higher melee attack than melee defense, but he's kind of the berserker fella. Big massive axe, which has a special name that I've forgotten, and also has death blow, I believe. See if we can find it down here. It's a pain in the ass to have a look at his abilities. Dang it. There we go. Foe Seeker. Death blow, there it is. So he gets a bit more armor piercing damage and some splash damage when he's under 20%, much like Slayers. Alongside, kind of second in command over here, is a Thane, dwarven melee hero. Pretty standard fare, though he does have 120 armor. Dwarves love their armor. And some Ironbreakers here on the front lines. These guys are super elite. 1300 gold to get them onto the field, I believe. Super defensive. 120 armor. A massive 68 melee defense. Does anything in the game have higher melee defense than that? I'm not sure. You have these specialized ranged attacks as well. Only 2 shots of them. I believe it's some kind of explosive attack. Not sure, though, to be honest. Low weapon strength and low melee attacks. So they might not get a huge amount of kills, but holding the line is their thing. They also have a charge defense against all. So if they're still and bracing against a charge, all charge bonuses are negated, which is a pretty big deal. Over here, some Dwarven Warriors. Around 475 gold, I think. Pretty good as your kind of low tier infantry. 80 armor. They also have charge defense against large foes. That includes cavalry. Really poor charge bonus of their own, much like most dwarves. High melee defense and not so great offensively, but they can plug the gaps that any Ironbreakers may leave. Over here, something not so defensive. These are the Slayers. 38 melee attack. These are your anti-large guys. How much of a bonus do they get exactly against large? 24 more damage against large foes. And they also have death blow and these whirling axes, which gives them some missile resistance. And they're relatively fast for a dwarf, it says, at 40 speed. Most dwarves in the kind of 20 speed-ish. Bunch of cannons. I'm not hugely convinced that cannons and artillery in general kind of pays for itself in these rather small-scale non-siege battles, but we'll see how it goes. Typically, when it kicks off, when it gets into melee, they kind of get caught in fights and stuff. Over here, some range units. These are quarrelers with crossbows and some shields and melee weapons to get out when they're in a fight. Standard range unit, I guess, but 80 armor. So they can take a fair few whacks. And all the way over here, some miners with blasting charges. I believe these guys are also 475 gold when they have the blasting charges. Decent little melee unit, I guess. And we'll see how their blasting charges go. Could chuck at them at something big, maybe. You only get one of them. And let's start this up here because the armies are quite far away. While we look at Treehugger's opponent, which is Sarex, playing some Greenskins. This is Azhag the Slaughterer. He's a spellcaster on a wyvern. I believe it's called Skull Muncher or something like that. His special little wyvern. Just follow him around a bit. What's he got? He's got the Law of Death, so he has stuff like Fate of Buna, which is good versus squads. Spirit Leech, good versus single targets. Also has Aspect of the Dread Knight, a very cheap thing that you can kind of spam to maybe cause some terror and buff the leadership of your troops. Also has some orky stuff like War, which is nuts. Plus 58 melee attack in 45 meters. That can really win you big melee brawls. Okay, Azhag, leave me alone now. He's going to go and harass, I suppose. Over here, whole bunch of Black Orcs. 110 armor. Big weapon strength with armor piercing. Very, very solid frontline unit. I believe they cost 1100 gold. Some Goblin Spearmen to plug the gaps. Very, very cheap. Around 300 gold, I think. Big ass giant. 1600 gold worth of stuff. Some Night Goblins, which are also really cheap. Around 350 maybe gold. Not the best stats ever, but they do bring you some poison for very little cost. We have some Doom Divers. We'll see how they fare once they set up. Is that everything? I believe it is a pretty straightforward Orc army, or Greenskin army I should say. We'll see what Azhag can do. Looks like he's trying to flank around And I guess a prime target for him and that Fate of Buna would be the Slayers, because they're the biggest threat to his giant. Let's speed it up a little bit and see what Azhag does. We can see him moving on the radar top right, trying to skirt around the edges of the Dwarven army. Looks like he's going to find those Slayers. Here he comes, and it is a spell, and it is the Fate of Buna. Let's see how much damage this does to the Slayers. Should do around 20% of their health, maybe 25. It's racking up. Nothing they can do about it. Wow, did more than I thought. Did around a third of their health there. Not bad. Looks like the Doom Divers are taking shots from the cannons. There we go. Let's see what these shots do. Crack. Oh, look at this. Doom Divers already wavering, taking those cannon shots. The Greenskins are on the move. The Dwarves obviously want to set up a good position and kind of wait for them to come and brace those charges. The Wyvern and Azhag the Slaughterer are in amongst some cannon crews, which is not good for them at all. Here comes Ungrim Ironfist and the Thane to have a word with him. He's covered in blood already. Looks like he's going to take off now. Must be careful that the Slayers don't get on him, because that would be really bad. Don't think it took too much damage. No, took barely any. Doom Diver catapults flying in, hitting some Iron Breakers, but I think they will get up from their hits. In terms of sheer numbers, it's pretty even at close to 800 individuals on each army. The allies there would be referring to the Dwarves, since they're yellow on your minimap. Dwarves trying to set up. Looks like it's going to be Dwarf Warriors behind the Iron Breakers. That is another Fate of Buna, I think. Yep. Let's see how much damage it does to Iron Breakers, because it's going to also completely negate their armor. Big chunks. Does it do a third of your health each time or something? But wow, that seems like a massive amount of damage to those guys. I'm not sure if it's variable damage on the magic. It kind of rolls a dice or something. Cannon's getting more shots and missing big time. That one hit. Some goblins. Looks like the goblins are at the front to take the brunt of it. They do have shields, so they can give you a little bit of defense against the quarrelers and their crossbows. Black orcs do not have shields, although big chunks of armor. So quarrelers wouldn't do a whole lot of damage to them anyway. See the miners at the back there. Where are the Slayers right now? Your troops uncovered hidden foes. That's the Dwarves spotting the Night Goblins as they got close enough. Looks like it's going to kick off right here. Big charge from the Greenskins. Ironbreakers ready to take it. The Thane going in amongst some Black Orcs. But here comes Black Orcs versus Ironbreakers. Shields up, racing for the charge. Looks like Doom Diver catapults got a shot in on their own Black Orcs there. I think the Black Orcs are going after the cannon crew, because it's very strangely kind of moving forward into them. More Doom Diver shots going in. I don't see any war buffs from Azhag the Slaughterer yet. Blood-drenched Black Orcs already. Goblin Spearmen getting involved in the back. There you see Ungrim Ironfist kicking their ass though, with his giant axe. Is that the Thane? Still fighting some Black Orcs all by himself? He is. How is he doing exactly? He's doing okay-ish. He's got 14 kills. That's pretty damn impressive, assuming they were all Black Orcs, although, oh no, he's in amongst some Spearmen as well. They might have all been Goblin Spearmen. He's going to go down soonish, but here comes Ungrim Ironfist to help out. Those two-handed axe attacks. Where is the Giant? Giant's taking a lot of damage already. Lots of ranged attacks going on him, I guess. Where are the Slayers? I cannot see them. There they are. The Slayers are actually going after Azhag. I guess the range attacks and the blasting charges and that kind of thing are really doing a number on this Giant. He's going to go down soon. Yes, and that could be a pivotal moment. Well, it's always a pivotal moment when you take down the Giant, but could it be the turning point here? Giant's going to go down. He's broken. Stand your ground active. Massive buff. And War as well. That could turn the tide again for the Orcs, because the Black Orcs are all engaged. And those buffs are massive that are going off right now. Azhag really getting stuck in. He's going to be over 100 melee attack, I guess, with that buff going off. Does it actually reflect that in his stats? Oh, I didn't see. Yeah, Dwarves struggling to hold the lines here. And again, those cannons not really doing much at this point, are they? I don't think it's worth it to bring them in a battle this size. Maybe some experienced players can tell me why you take them. Yeah, they get a few kills as the army approaches, but the bulk of the battle is done right here. Some kind of buff, I think, there on some Orcs. Black Orcs. Slayers in amongst them. But they're going to struggle against the Black Orcs, I think. So many of them. Slayers will not run away, though. Let's see if we can find Ungrim. There he is. Looks like he forced off some spearmen, which is not terribly difficult. And the Thane is still alive. 856 hit points. Got to be a little bit careful with him now, because he's keeping that leadership up, or helping to at least. Azhag is pretty low also, but he is chomping through stuff. 58 kills. Holy crap. I can't believe how quickly that giant went down. Night Goblins are wavering, very tired, losing in melee. Black Orcs though. That many Black Orcs, that's not easy to deal with. Maybe a massive amount of armor-piercing range stuff would have helped out there. Quarreller's now in melee with Azhag. He's used Azhag very well as sarex. That harassment early on, and then picking his melee battles pretty well. Dwarves are really up against it. Black Orcs against miners, that's not a very fair fight. Are the Iron Breakers all gone? Can't be. Are these Iron Breakers right here? No, these are Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors, I should say. Slayers over here. Iron Breakers over there, very, very low on hit points. Not even they could take the mass Black Orc charge. And there's War again. Yep, you can see the buffed melee attack takes the Black Orcs up to 92 melee attack with that active. I think that won him the game. Those buffs from Azhag, those were crazy. That's why the Slayers went after him, I guess, to stop him doing that kind of thing. He's still in the air as well, pretty much untouchable in the air, with the Quarrelers, I think, off the field here. I wonder if cannons can hit flying units reliably. Lots of breaking and wavering all around. The Dwarves are kind of fleeing en masse here. Can they recover and turn around and take on some Greenskins here? Here you see the advantage. Oops, from friendly fire there. Here you see the advantage of the Greenskins taking it to the Dwarves. Their Doom Divers are able to get shots on. Although lots of friendly fire here. Careful where you're shooting, fellas. Ungrim Ironfist in there, of course. Oh, wow, but that was a big charge from Azhag. And he flung him into the air there. That was awesome. Look at that for a finish against Ungrim Ironfist of all people. Azhag kicked some serious ass. And the Greenskins take it there. Axe held aloft. That was awesome at the end. That charge from Azhag. And I think he won them the game, really did. Those buffs were crazy. Dwarves could not stand against it. Let's end the replay and have a look at some stats here. 67 kills for Ungrim, 39 for the Thane, 20 for the Slayers. Look at these miners, got 64 kills. Blasting charges might have gone off in amongst some Greenskins. Azhag the Slaughterer with 70 kills. MVP right there. Giant did take out some before he went down. Look at these Black Orcs though. Insane amount of kills on these guys. Over 100 on 3 different units. That's crazy. Would have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.